I was almost debating if I even wanted to put this story up here because this is so damn crazy to me. I mean, I guess there's a need for it for some people. Maybe there's a lawyer out there trying to make a quick buck, but this is actually a website here so that you can officially sue Cloud Imperium. It's an actual website labeled starcitizenlawsuit.com. Like, I don't know if like JJ and Webb or whatever the hell the like, I don't know if this was invented by a lawyer or like somebody's trying to make a quick buck on this stuff. But like, there's other people that would say, oh, well, they've made their quick buck off me. And my attitude is like, and this might be unpopular opinion, but to me, it's like there's people that feel betrayed by the money they spent into a crowdfunding game. Now, nobody forced them to spend this money. All the detail and the information was there. Some people say, well, that information was a lie. Some people say, oh, it's 8 years later, I don't have the game. Okay. All right. I'm trying to come at this from the most unbiased spot that I can. But I will say this. To me, I wouldn't put much more money into anything that I'm willing to lose in life. I'm not even talking gaming. Some people have addictive personalities. Some people, put money into things and they just can't stop. Some people have spent thousands and thousands of dollars and they can't get that money back and they want it back because they shouldn't have put it in there in the first place. It's just not a smart move to do, period. Some people have the money. And they're like, I'm fine with putting this into the project. And they're fine with it being 8 years long and putting that money in. Those people get chastised for it. And it's like, people are like, well, you shouldn't do that. And they're like being chastised like they're little children and they can't afford it, which is also very like ridiculous to me. These people obviously have the money. They want to do it. They want to see this become a reality and they have the means to do it with. And they're fine with doing it with the realization that the money might not ever come back to them as far as getting the game that they want out of it. Some of them like the journey and want to invest into it in terms of not getting a payout, not the investing that everybody's like going towards the textbook of example of you're putting money in to get more money out. No, you're putting like an emotional investment in it. You're putting your heart into something that you believe might come out of this at the other side and say, hey, I have an experience that I really am happy that I could have supported. There's plenty of people like that, but there's a lot of other people that put a lot of money that they didn't have in the game or that they didn't have in real life into this game. There's a lot of people out there that put a lot of money into this title, into this project that feel betrayed because they put money in that they didn't have in the first place. And now they're on the other side needing that money for like food and rent and electricity and things that they need, and they don't have that money now, and they really want that money, and they're like, man, I'm pissed off at Cloud Imperium for the lies. In the meantime, in my eyes, there's no lie. It's still a project. There's 600 people working on this. This is real code. These are real people doing real work, and it's going to take a lot of time. And you know what? You can say what you want about the business practices, right? But they put everything up there. They put everything out there. They started a they started a Kickstarter page. They did everything in steps, and they're very transparent. They're very transparent about where they're at, the progress that they're making. Yes, they've done a lot of double steps. They've gone back and redone things 12 million times over. Okay, we get that. But it's still ongoing, and the work is actually happening with a real business with real people. You can say what they want about the management. You can say, okay, well, maybe the management's not great. They're not spending the money correctly, or they're not doing the right things, but they're still doing the work to bring. It's not fake. It's not like what was that one? The title that was complete fake, which was that Illyria Chronicles of Illyria. It's not a Chronicles of Illyria. It's not a scam, like that's all I'm trying to get across to people And like, I do feel bad for people that put money in and they just kept going in at it with that addictive. There are a lot of people that do that. There's a lot of people that caught in the cycle of that DLC content where they just can't stop spending. And that practice is horrible. Like, those business practices in a way are kind of horrible. Is it wrong? In my mind, is it wrong that Cloud Imperium continually has this ship cycle and they pump out ship after ship after ship? In a way, you can view it that way and you can be like, Jesus, you know? But that is their only way of funding this project. That is the only way they're bringing in new revenue. It is their number one source of bringing revenue to continue this project, to move it forward. So can you blame them for doing that? Can you blame them for having that business model? It's their model that has got them past $350 million of revenue. It seems like it's working pretty good. Why fuck with something that's doing so good? That process seems like it's working very well for them. You know, and they're going to keep doing it because they got real people that need real paychecks so that they can live. So if you think that those business practices are shady, don't do it. So when I see websites like this, I just think to myself, like, when I see a fully functioning version of Star Citizen or Squadron 42 may never be ready, I see this. A fully functioning adult may never be ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a fully functioning adult should never put that kind of money that they don't have into a video game. That's what I kind of read into this. That's what I say in my brain. When I'm reading this, I'm just thinking to myself, like, a fully functioning adult would not ever spend money that they don't have in a video game. And like I said, I feel for people that fall into an addiction, that fall into this. It's like a gambling addiction. There was a great content provider that put out a video that talked about this, that talked about the habitual way in which, you know, companies go after people to bring in dollars over and over again. But I still have to say, you have control of your own actions. You make your choices. The company never forced you to do anything. And as terrible as it might be to other people that they're doing this, you still have the control over your own spending habits. You still have the control over your own wallets. Nobody's pointing a gun at your head and robbing you. So when I see stuff like this, I go nuts. I am a content provider, okay? I tend to focus on Star Citizen and game development in general, and having good times with the people that come to this stream, talking about whatever it is that interests us as a community. Okay. And I've been covering Star Citizen for 5 years. Okay. I'm having a wonderful time with the journey, and I've literally spent maybe $200 to $300 on ships, and I'm fine with it. If I lose that money, I'm fine with it. I got my money's worth. I've got my money's worth in content. I got my money's worth in game time. I got my money's worth in the people that I've met. I feel like the amount of money that I have put into it is acceptable in terms of what I'm getting back from it, the people that I've met, my experiences that I've gotten from the game, the project. And I have rationally said this is all I'm willing to spend. And that's what I suggest that other people do. So that you know, if you're going to this, I feel like if you're going to this site, you're going to be just as equally used again. There's going to be some, I don't know who's on the other end of this. I don't know. But it just feels all kinds of weird to me. Like when I see this type of thing, it just doesn't feel right. And some people can call me crazy for that. That's okay. That's just my opinion. I am not the end all and say all of everything. This is just my own opinion. You guys are more than entitled to have your own opinions. Well, that's what I think about StarCitizenLawsuit.com.